Every day, you trust your life to machines you've never thought about. An elevator, a window, a tire, a bridge, a bag of blood. None of them should keep you alive. All of them do. Here are 5 hidden mechanisms quietly keeping you alive right now. Every time you step into an elevator, you're trusting a 170-year-old invention to keep you alive. Before 1853, elevators existed, but no one trusted them. If the rope snapped, the car fell. Then a man named Elisha Otis built a safety brake and tested it in public. He stood on a platform, raised it high above a crowd, and ordered the rope to be cut. The platform dropped a few inches, then froze in midair. The crowd went silent. His brake worked like this. A flat spring on top of the car pushes outward against the rails inside the shaft. As long as the rope stays tight, the spring is held closed. The moment the rope goes slack, the spring snaps open and digs steel teeth into the rails, locking the car in place. Modern elevators use the same idea, plus multiple steel cables, magnetic brakes, and a governor that triggers if the car moves too fast. Even if every cable snapped today, you would not fall. The brakes catch you in less than a second. That elevator brake catches you before you fall. But not every hidden mechanism saves you in a moment. Some are built into shapes you've stared at your whole life without noticing. The reason airplane windows are round is because square ones killed 56 people. In 1954, a British jet called the de Havilland Comet was the future of flying. It cruised higher and faster than anything before it, and it had big square windows that gave passengers a beautiful view. Then, 2 comets exploded in midair within months of each other. Investigators pulled the wreckage from the ocean and found the cracks always started at the same place, the corners of the windows. Here's why. Every time a plane climbs, the cabin is pressurized and the metal skin stretches outward. When it lands, the metal relaxes. That's one cycle. Like bending a paperclip, the metal weakens a little each time. On a round window, that stress spreads evenly across the curve. On a square window, it concentrates at the corners. The Comet's corners were cracking after just a few thousand flights. Engineers redesigned every airplane window with rounded corners. The crashes stopped. Every plane you've ever flown on still uses that fix. A window the size of your hand can take down a plane. Now imagine the same problem on something a mile long, holding up thousands of cars. The fix is just as small, but you've definitely felt it. If you've ever driven over a bridge and felt a small bump under your tires, that bump is saving the bridge from destroying itself. Steel grows when it gets hot. A bridge a mile long can stretch over a foot in summer compared to winter. If the bridge had no room to expand, that growing metal would push against whatever's at the ends and crack the whole structure apart. So engineers build expansion joints. These are deliberate gaps where 2 sections of bridge meet, filled with metal teeth that slide into each other like fingers crossing. In winter, the gaps open wider. In summer, the teeth slide closer together as the steel grows. In 1995, an expansion joint on a bridge in South Korea was clogged with debris for years. The metal had nowhere to go. On a hot August afternoon, the steel buckled, and a section of the bridge collapsed into the river, killing 32 people. That's why crews now inspect every joint twice a year. The bump under your tires means it's still working. That tiny gap in the road keeps the whole bridge alive. But the bridge doesn't keep you on it. The thing actually gripping the road is happening in 4 small patches of rubber under your car. A car tire on a wet road is doing something most drivers never notice. It's pumping water out from under itself, hundreds of gallons per minute. When it rains, a thin layer of water sits on the road. If a smooth tire hits that water at speed, it can't push it out of the way fast enough. The tire rides up on top of the water like a surfboard, loses contact with the road, and the driver loses all control. This is called hydroplaning.
That's why tires have grooves cut into them. As the tire rolls, the deep channels around the outside scoop water and force it out the sides. Smaller cuts, called sipes, slice through any thin film of water left behind, biting into the road underneath. A brand new tire can move 15 gallons of water per second at highway speed. A worn tire with shallow grooves moves a fraction of that. That's why bald tires hydroplane at half the speed of new ones. The pattern on your tire is keeping you on the road.
The grooves in your tires keep you alive on the road, but the most important system keeping you alive isn't on the outside of you. It's inside you, and a single pint of it can save 3 other people too. When you donate 1 pint of blood, doctors don't actually give that pint to anyone. They split it apart and use it to treat 3 different patients. The bag goes into a centrifuge that spins it at 3,000 rotations per minute. The force pulls the heaviest parts to the bottom and leaves the lightest parts on top. After 15 minutes, your blood has separated into 3 clean layers. At the bottom sit the red cells, which carry oxygen. These go to surgery patients and crash victims who've lost blood. They last 42 days in cold storage. In the middle is a thin, pale layer of platelets, the tiny cells that form clots. These help cancer patients whose bone marrow can't make their own. Platelets only last 5 days, so blood banks are always short on them. On top floats the plasma, a clear yellow liquid full of proteins. It helps burn victims and people with liver failure. Frozen, it lasts a full year. 1 donation, 3 lives. A spring in an elevator, a curve in a window, a gap in a bridge, a pattern on a tire, a bag in a freezer. 5 quiet mechanisms doing their job every second of every day, so you don't have to think about them. The world keeps you alive in ways you'll probably never notice, but now you have.